So what if Superman crash landed in Kansas, instead of being raised up to be this monumental, heroic figure that he was? What if he was just terrifying and killed people? What's up, guys? I want to thank every one of you for coming to this channel and checking it out. I know that a lot of you were following me doing my written reviews, and you guys were amazing, pushing me to continue doing it, even though I love doing it either way. It just was nice to get all that support. So I wanted to switch over, like I said I was going to do, and I'm going to switch over to these video reviews for you. I took a little bit of time to build the kit and everything for it, and start putting this all together and having it look a little bit more professional than just holding a phone up and taking a selfie. So I just want to thank everybody. So this is just how I'm going to start doing it now. Plus, it's a little bit easier if you want to sit there and be lazy and not read anything, which that's sad, but if you want to do that, I'm helping you out. There we go. My first review on this channel is going to be Brightburn, which was directed by David Yarovesky, which I think is his very first director role, at least a big project director role. And he didn't do a bad job. It was pretty good, actually. I obviously have my issues with the movie in some aspects, but it's not horrible at all. It's pretty good. It stars Elizabeth Banks and David Denman, who are two extraordinary actors. And they play the parents of this Superman figure-esque, but instead of Clark Kent, we now have Brandon. And he's pretty terrifying. He's a pretty terrifying 13-year-old kid, for sure. Like I said in the beginning, what if Superman were to crash down and just, instead of being a good guy, what if he was just a dickhead? And that's this movie, and it's just, he really just takes on a pretty horrific role. Like, this is more real, I think. Like, if somebody was to crash, what are the odds that every single person that came down that had this ability really used it for good, right? I have to believe that there's got to be somebody that would take that power and just fucking blammo their ass and just kill them. And it's not really realistic to see every single super-powered movie have a heroic role. Yeah, you have your supervillains and all that, but just to see this upbringing, to see the story we know from Superman, but to see him be a different character completely was pretty cool. Like I said before, the best part of this whole movie is its acting. Its characters are so strong. People have good charisma together on screen. I actually believed, Elizabeth Banks and David Denman's characters. Like, I believed that they were a real couple. I believed they had real struggling issues. I believe, that they were trying to raise their son and have this boy that they found after he crash landed and actually raise him right, and not wanting to believe all the rumors about him that he's maybe not the greatest kid that was walking around. And I believed that internal struggle, which was amazing. But this is most definitely 100% a horror movie. Like, don't go into this expecting a super powered movie and with a little bit of a horror element. No, it is a horror movie. Like, the editing that was used in this movie was pretty cliche to most jump scare horror movie editings that we get nowadays. With that also being said, I don't know if anybody looked at the review. I looked at the review and saw that it was rated R and going, oh, they're going to have some cuss words in there. Maybe they'll have a little sex scene like some horror movies. No, and the reason it's rated R is because it's so gory. Like, there are scenes in this movie that made me clutch my face and just close my eyes. I couldn't take it anymore. Like, it was pretty rough to watch. There's a lot of scenes that really hit you in the stomach. But that's good, because one of the greatest things I loved about this movie was that the special effects and editing department paid attention to detail, right? So when you get scenes in movies where somebody flies through a windshield and you see little cuts on their face and not an actual screwed up palate, but in this movie, when he does something to somebody, it sticks in the next time you see them. right? The next second you see them, they're like, oh shit, that guy went through a windshield and boy. But that's, like I said, I like that the editors and the special effects team and everybody involved paid attention to detail and actually made it believable. Like when something happened to a character, we could feel that it happened to them. It wasn't just us knowing, oh yeah, they're, a main character, so you're going to probably have us cuts and bruises on. No! They actually have like screwed up faces and everything. They'll be bleeding profusely, gagging on their own blood. It's horrible. But it was good in terms of me appreciating what they did with the special effects. So the one thing I will say about this movie that really bummed me out was the story. It felt like the writing was very rushed. This is only an hour and a half movie, so going into this, I was like, okay, maybe it's just going to be a quick little, he's already going to be involved, he's already going to be there, which is kind of what they did. They kind of already made him a thing from the get-go, but they just rushed the story so much. But they don't explain anything of his backstory, his origin. They just kind of throw him in there, and all of a sudden, one day, he just wakes up, snaps, and he's evil. Like they don't give him, anything. It would have been a good thing to see him battle internal struggle of trying to be good but also being bad, and he can't really handle it until eventually it tips one side to make him bad. But in this one, it doesn't give him that struggle. He's just evil. He's just a dick, and that was a real bummer because it's not believable. You don't really feel connected to him. You watch him the whole movie and don't care. You care about the parents. They gave the biggest performance in this movie, but for him, you're like, fuck that kid. I was hoping to God somebody would kill him halfway through the movie, but obviously that wouldn't be much of a movie if he was dead halfway through. That's just how much I hated that kid. Overall, this movie wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a great movie at all, but I had fun with it, and I will still end up buying it for sure. It's going to have its issues when you watch it. I think that you might feel the same way. If not, comment below. Let me know what you thought too, because I'm very interested in having, people explain their ideas to me as well. Overall, I'm going to give Brightburn a C+. Guys, again, thank you so much. I know you were following my written reviews, and it meant everything to me. It was really amazing that I got so much support from every one of you, and I loved it. I thought it was great that everybody was pushing me to continue doing it. I just kind of wanted to upgrade a little bit, give you guys a little bit something different, do the video reviews. Hopefully I'm going to get these out about twice a week, but just for the meantime, hopefully you guys are loving the way I'm putting this together now, so I can continue doing this for as long as you guys could possibly want it. Guys, I love doing this. I really do. But I also love your support. So please hit that like button below if you want to see more of this. Like I said, I'm going to keep releasing these about once or twice a week. So go ahead, hit that like button below and subscribe, and you'll have another one next week.